forget, right? You know, the mothers always seen crying. The grandmothers always seen crying. They get on the news and say, my baby this, my baby that. If y'all just steered their ass in a better direction, it wouldn't even got to that point, bro. What it do, YouTube? It's Ty Fetty with the Fetty. Back at y'all with another video, man. I know why we here. To handle business, but before we handle that business, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to say it again, bro. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to say it one more. Matter of fact, like, comment, subscribe. Before I got to beat you up, y'all know what's going on. We got the story of NLB, Wet 'em Up, the body snatcher. NLMB, you know, we did Mad Max. We tapped into Mad Max, G Herbo. We tapped into that east side of Chicago. I ain't never heard of no NLMB, Wet 'em Up, though. And if you giving a nigga a name like that, y'all know what he got to be on. I keep telling y'all, if they from Chicago, they came out the womb with a switch and a ski, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, man, this Wet 'em Up, man.
Lil Wet.
You already know.
Lil Wet, no Diddy. No Diddy.
Prosecutors say Harris is a documented gang member with an extensive juvenile record. Harris has had 29 arrests. His crimes range from armed to unlawful firearm possession.
Police have been focusing their attention around a neighborhood fast food restaurant called Nadia's. CPD says a man walked up to the restaurant and started shooting.
Is looking at 4 counts of first-degree. The 19-year-old is accused of being the trigger man in 4 homicides.
I saw a man sitting up, shot on the tree.
Police say the quadruple murders outside this South Shore restaurant were a planned execution in retaliation for the of Maurice Harris's father, Jerry Jacobs, who, like his son, was a documented gang member.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. When it comes to gremlins, you know there's some that talk about it, and then there's others like NLMB Lil Wet that be about it. His name has been stamped in the history books of Chicago after he allegedly got get back within less than 24 hours of them crossing out his OG. From multiple arrests to beating 4 bodies to now back under the thumb of the feds. Is this the end of one of NLMB's biggest steppers? We're gonna find out. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business.
Yes, sir.
NLMB, known as the No Limit Muskegon Boys, now represent their code Never Leave My Brothers. They have been one of the most popular sets in Chicago alongside others like FBG and OTF. Their notoriety on this big a scale can be credited to 2 of their rappers that made it big, G Herbo and Lil Bibby. And one nailed it in the rap game, and the other co-founding Grade A Productions, a record label with his brother G Money, which signed the legendary late Juice WRLD. While NLMB is popping on the music front, they got a ruthless reputation as well in the streets. And one member that's become something of a legend goes by the name of NLMB Wet 'em Up, aka Lil Wet. He got the name from his pops, who was Big Wet in the streets. So Lil Wet took on the torch and ran with it, doing the best he could to hold it down for his set.
First thing I'm gonna ask you is like, where you get your name from? Shit, I got my name from a legend my daddy came up under him. Oh, they call him Wet too? Yep, same, yep. For sure.
The environment influenced who he became, and growing up in the trenches, Lil Wet followed the path of so many youngins getting caught in the cycle. But he wasn't prepared for all the pain and bloodshed that would come.
So, you know, when you got into the streets, do you feel like you was prepared for it? Hell nah, I wasn't. Ain't nobody gonna be prepared for the streets, because the streets ain't fair. You feel like if you grew up in a different neighborhood, you probably would never even live that type of life? Yeah, it's gonna always be the environment, whatever environment you in.
He has seen his homies knocked off right in front of him and has been shot on multiple occasions. Once in the hip and another time.
Look though, at least I can respect somebody that could willingly admit that. You feel me? Like, of course, people try to say people use product of environments as an excuse. And I wouldn't say it's an excuse, but it's definitely ways to get around that shit. It's definitely ways not to be that product of your environment type shit. But a lot of niggas be faking like, bro, if I didn't live here and I lived there, I'd still be like that, because that's just me. But he could willingly admit, like, nigga, I ain't had no choice. But if I had a better life, I probably wouldn't be on this. And I can respect that, bro. That's some, you know, it takes a man to say some shit
with
like
a hole in his hand on live as he applied bandages over the wound.
I talk to God. Oh shit! Bitch, you asking? God will make me call him. on y'all be calling for his ass on him.
I believe you had got shot with one of your friends that passed away or something like that?
Oh yeah, I got shit on shit, yeah, my homie Lil Rock.
So what exactly did you get hit at?
I got hit on my hip.
Was that your first time getting shot?
No.
Lil Wet will rack up a rap sheet that would paint him as a youngin' that was really about it and had no care for the law. According to reports, cops arrested Bro young. From then, he was arrested 29 times for everything ranging from armed burglary to firearm possession. Lil Wet was really out here standing on business for NLMB, allegedly.
Prosecutors say Harris is a documented gang member with an extensive juvenile record.
As we've seen too many times before here in Chicago, he's no stranger to CPD.
Harris has had 29 arrests. His crimes range from armed to unlawful firearm possession.
Crazy thing is, it's reported that his pops, who cops also labeled as a gang member, was arrested dang near 47 times. So it seemed like Lil Wet was really carrying on that family legacy. And
this is some real ass Chicago shit. Bro, don't get no more Chicago than this, bro. I swear to God.
The streets, for real.
Police say Maurice Harris's father, Jerry Jacobs, was a documented gang member who was arrested 47 times in the past.
Sadly, his pops would lose his life to the streets that made him. Reports state that on March 29th, 2017, 37-year-old Jerry Jacobs, a.k.a. Big Wet, was walking on the sidewalk at 11:13 p.m. in the 7900 block of South Phillips when four males got out of a dark-colored vehicle and shot at him. Jacob suffered a gunshot wound to the right side of his body and took himself to South Shore Hospital. With his life draining minute by minute, he was later transferred to Stronger Hospital. Unfortunately, no matter how much they tried to save his life, his wound was too great, and he was pronounced deceased at 3:40 a.m. Lil Wet would get word of the news, and in that moment, he had two choices: mourn his pops and move on to a different path, leaving the streets behind, or spin the block and have give back for the man that his life was patterned after. Well, what happened less than 24 hours later is alleged to have been his decision. Family members were left in tears as the chaotic scene played out. According to reports, a shooter entered Nadia Fish and Chicken at 75th and Coles around 4 p.m. and opened fire before escaping on foot. Police found two men, 28-year-old Emmanuel Stokes and 32-year-old Edwin Davis, hit inside from gunshot wounds.
This is what I don't get, right? You know, the mothers always seen crying. The grandmothers always seen crying. They get on the news and say, my baby this, my baby that. If y'all had steered their ass in a better direction, it wouldn't even got to that point, bro. Same thing FBG Duck mother doing, bro. She want all this justice for her son. When her son was in the streets doing the same shit to the same people. When your son was doing it, that's my baby. That's my baby boy. Now when that shit catch up to him and them same niggas who he been into it with all these years catch up to him. Now I want justice. You feel me? Like, man, you can't do that shit, bro. You throwing a rock and hide in your hand, bro. You know your kid out this joint doing whatever he doing, bro. And if you letting them do it, you enabling that shit. And people say, bro, they single mothers, bro. It's only so much they can do. Well, make better choices. Fuck you talking about? Get a better father. Get a father that ain't gonna be no deadbeat. Like I always say, wait to have kids until you know you ready. Don't have no kid at 19. You still your mother in the Jets. Just to take over her Section 8 voucher when she passed away. To stay in the Jets. Come on, bro. It's better choices to be made, bro. All this crying and mourning and shit. Like, okay, I understand you lost a loved one, bro, but you gotta know, nigga, your child was in the streets. That's what come with it. You letting him come home at 4 a.m, 2 pistols on his hip, asking him how his day was. But when them same pistols get used on him, now we need justice. Man, that shit cap. I don't never believe that shit. That's one thing I don't get out of this street shit, bro. Like, the parents, bro, the grandmothers and shit, they let this shit go on until they kid die. Now we want justice. Man, y'all should have gave his ass justice by sending his ass to summer camp or boarding school. You hear me? Or having a father figure in his life. Like, come on, bro.
And two brothers, 20-year-old
like
Dylan Jackson and 19-year-old Raheem Jackson, hit outside, also from gunshot wounds from the attack.
Police have been focusing their attention around a neighborhood fast food restaurant called Nadia's. CPD says a man walked up to the restaurant and started shooting. 2 people were shot inside the restaurant and 1 was found outside. Again, police originally were investigating this as 3 people shot, but then police roped off a new scene where another body was found in a nearby backyard.
Their grandmother would speak to reporters breaking down what happened.
The church is chicken up there. Now here 2 at one time. 2 at one time. They tried to Jackson's grandkids. God, they got 2 bodies inside the restaurant of somebody else's kids, I imagine. They said it's 2 boys inside the restaurant. So if they got 2 bodies inside and 2 outside, oh, they just a whole bunch of up today. A whole bunch of them. 4 of them now.
Dylan and Raheem lived around the corner?
Yes.
But you don't know who these 2 victims inside the restaurant?
No. I just know my baby, 1 there and 1 down the street.
So it's 2 separate.
Now she want to talk to to the news. But when them babies was out here terrorizing shit, robbing shit, stealing shit, hitting shit, I'ma just shut up, bro, before, y'all be in my comments trolling, bro. I ain't, man.
Encounters.
No.
I don't want no smoke, bro.
According to reports, Dylan and Raheem were visiting their mother who worked at the restaurant when the gunfire broke out. Both tried to flee, but were also fatally shot in nearby parking lots. It didn't take long for the trail to lead police right to Lil Wet, who was pointed out by several eyewitnesses at the scene, saying he was the shooter.
3 witnesses to this quadruple murder identified Maurice Harris as the
Now arrested, Maurice Harris, aka Lil Wet, was in for hell. News of the hits was sweeping news stations, and his image was painted as some gangster with no sense involved in gangs. Worse yet, they plastered his criminal history and the criminal history of his pops, who was also murked less than 24 hours before, making the alleged connection that he retaliated for the hit on his pops. It wasn't looking good for bro at all.
Marion and police say the 2 cases are related and both are tied to gang conflicts. Tonight, 1 man is in custody, 19-year-old Maurice Harris, and investigators say he is not cooperating with them. Police say the quadruple outside this South Shore restaurant were a planned execution in retaliation for the murder of Maurice Harris's father, Jerry Jacobs, who, like his son, was a documented gang member.
They have said that they believe Harris is responsible for are gang-related.
19-year-old Harris is now charged with 4 counts of first-degree.
3 witnesses to this quadruple murder identified Maurice Harris as the
Prosecutors say Harris is a documented gang member with an extensive juvenile record.
As we've seen too many times before here in Chicago, he's no stranger to CPD.
Lil Wet was in the slammer without bail in the court, and to him, it was like everything just went black.
No Limit Lil Wet charged with like quadruple and all type of shit. Like, how was that knowing like that even though you just lost your father, like you fight for your life at the same time? Like, how do you have time to like mourn type shit?
Shit, it's like shit. All that shit after it, like everything just went dark. Like it's hard to explain. Like everything just went dark.
Losing your pops, then days later, now you behind bars. That had to be a weight on bro mind, realizing that he was facing life and then his father lost his life. Whether he saw the light of day or passed away in a cell depended on this case right here.
When you heard the charges and shit, like, what type of time was you facing?
Shit, I was facing shit like life. I was nothing else.
Even with that, bro was still thugging behind bars and giving hell. Lil Wet would hold strong, fighting the case for approximately 3 years before a miracle happened. Lil Wet was woken up from his cell and rushed into an emergency online court meeting where he was told the good news. The case was dismissed and all charges were dropped.
Chicago, oh my mother, that's some Chicago. I swear, man, that shit happened here. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if Casper the Ghost did it. Somebody going down for that one. It ain't about to just be nah. Now, granted, shit like that happen all the time, bro. Somebody charges might get dropped, but a quadruple, 4 people ain't about to just get hit, and the city just be like, fuck it, we don't got nobody. Somebody going down for that joint. Now, you might get out in 15 years, and they got to pay your ass because it was wrongful imprisonment, but somebody's going down for that joint.
In front of my
no cap.
They like, man, you got emergency court. So I'm like, okay, emergency court. Yes, you got emergency court. I'm like, what the f? man, can I get in the shower? They, nah, you can get in the shower. Like, damn, can I brush my teeth? They're like, yeah, go brush your teeth, woo. So they pull me out the cell, they get to take me downstairs. I see all the directors, everybody, and they take me straight to court. They take me straight to court.
I don't think people know the full extent of what bro was facing and how big a miracle that was. According to reports, it wasn't just 4 hit charges Lil Wet was facing, but more than 24 counts, attempted hit and aggravated discharge of a firearm. Apparently, the case was dropped due to unreliable witness accounts.
Murder charges against the man accused of shooting 4 people inside a Chicago restaurant back in 2017 are now dropped. According to prosecutors, the request to drop the case happened because of unreliable witness accounts. 22-year-old Maurice Harris was facing more than 24 counts. One of his attorneys tells the Chicago Sun-Times he expects Harris to be released from jail, quote, relatively soon. Katie Johnston for CBS 2 Chicago.
His mom's also gave an alibi for Lil Wet. She had the phone records to prove she was talking to her son at the time of the shooting. She said that her son could not have been near the restaurant because he was at the coroner's office identifying his father, Jerry Jacobs.
Maurice Harris's mother denies her son could have been involved. She says she was on the phone with him at the time of the
Bro got the second chance of a lifetime,
That's
and it was
crazy,
now up
bro.
to him to put it to good use. It was all smiles and laughter being released from jail in 2020. And for a while, it looked like Lil Wet was doing just that. From behind bars, people were telling him he had to come out and get his rap on and stay out of all the BS. So when he got out, he picked up the mic and started doing his thing.
So like, when you was locked up, was it people telling you like when you get out rap this and that?
Oh yeah, when I was here, hell yeah, some people they seem like shit. Boy, if you don't get out rapping, boy, you stupid as a motherfucker. Boy, stop telling me that dumbass shit. You think I don't know that?
He was making moves with his homie G Herbo and pushing music of his own, leveling up in the rap game and building connections with stars like Chief Keef, 21 Savage, Wallow, and Gilly.
Let me tell you something, nigga, survivor's remorse right I'm here with no limit, wet 'em up. You hear me? Yeah, the name speaks for itself. Quadruple kid, man.
The boy was doing it. He started going under the name Drench,
Quadruple
continuing
kid.
to drop music, and
That's
it seemed
crazy.
like Lil Wet was on the right path. That was until he wasn't. The feds weren't having it, and pulled up on bro, putting him right back in the slammer. According to reports that surfaced through court documents on January 19, 2024, during a federal search warrant on the residence located at 720 West 47th Street, apartment 4D in Chicago, law enforcement observed Maurice Harris, aka NLMB Lil Wet, temporarily leaned out of a window of 47th Avenue Street with a firearm in his hand and then threw the same firearm onto the roof of the 47th Street apartment. The gun recovered from the roof was a Glock pistol with a fully automatic switch loaded with 17 rounds. According to a 10-page criminal complaint, which included a photo of the alleged weapon sitting on top of a pile of snow, the switchy isn't something that the feds play with, and it's almost guaranteed prison time if caught. They allegedly saw bro toss on the roof and also recovered the strap, so it's gonna be a tough one for Lil Wet to beat. Reports state that the reason for the raid is uncertain as the warrant remains sealed, but the raid was conducted as Lil Wet returned from doing a show in Detroit and was staying with a girlfriend. So it seems like they were all on his trail and just waiting for the right moment to strike. With the charge of possessing a machine gun carrying a sentence up to 10 years in prison, you know the feds are going to try to get the max since they probably fell away about the 4 bodies from before. The prosecution was throwing everything to try to get Lil Wet kept behind bars, requesting him being held without bond and playing the judge rap videos of Lil Wet. They argued that by flaunting his familiarity with guns and bragging about shooting people with automatic weapons, he showed his dangerousness, and it was a reality, not merely a part of his art. 2 music videos in question that were showed were Death and Murder Man, but just by the name alone, it already starts to create an image for the judge. Mix that with new names like Drench and his only acts against bro. NLMB Lil Wet beat all the odds, defied fate, and beat 4 bodies, only to now play right back into the hands of the law. This time, possibly not getting out of the jam that he's in without penalties. Not even getting caught with just any strap, but a switch. You gotta think smarter, especially after getting a second chance. Things been looking like a L for Lil Wet since his arrest, but a piece of document recently surfaced online, allegedly showing that they may have proof that he was released and he's back outside. But that still hasn't been confirmed because there's jail call recordings of Lil Wet talking to his homie about the rough conditions he's facing behind bars, saying they hating on him and he ain't eating 6 days. Things are still shaking on the situation Lil Wet is now wrapped up in. And if he could even get out of that jam that quickly, it's up to time to really see what's going on with this case.
I'm gonna leave it right there. That shit crazy, bro. Shawty be full bodies. They go get spanked with a cause he had a switch on him. Damn, that shit crazy, bro. Shawty real die beat full bodies, bro. Just to get, he gonna get slayed cause he got caught with a button, bro. With that being said, it's Ty Fatty with the Fatty, bro. Make sure y'all stay smart, bro. Stay dangerous. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. I'm gone.